basically trying to de-incentivize tanking.
Huh.
Trying to make it where, it's not it doesn't give teams a bonus.
Right. Right. I'm going to go to that now. Something a little different. What's going on, Allah? Hey, if you'll invite in for me, Amanda. Richard Trevino, what's going on? Hope everybody's having a good Friday. Hey, Mom, what's going on? We're on a commercial break right now. Okay. Hey, welcome back at Sports Hour with Ace. I'm your host, Andrew Vanelli. Today's show is presented by the Sheffield Antique Mall and the legendary Ronnie Grisani's 684 West Poplar Avenue. You can call in 901-853-7822 for more information or go to www.sheffield-antiques.com. We talked a little bit about some college football matchups. We talked a little bit about NFL. The Patriots losing to the Chiefs last night in a surprising upset. From what I hear, the running back looked really good, Kareem Hunt. He fumbled the first play of the game and then turned it around, as well as Alex Smith. The Chiefs win 42-27 and surprise the defending champions, New England Patriots. I hear the ratings were down. We had another guy take a seat during the national anthem. We won't get into too much of that because that's probably what everybody's talking about, and I want to go against the grain. I may be joined by a guest today, Anthony McClanahan. Anthony McClanahan is a former Washington State, Dallas Cowboy, and Calgary Stampede football player. We spoke last night, and he's down in Puerto Rico helping out the flood victims. He's been in Texas. He has a hashtag, to the top Texas 41, to the top Florida 41, and to the top Puerto Rico 41. If you could hashtag that on social media, he might be joining us. I called him. I don't know if he is down there in the mix and the weather is bad. He did not answer, but he said that he would be calling in at 10:45 my time. I believe it's 11:45 his time. He's going to kind of talk to us about what he's doing down there. I know it's a big sports weekend ahead, but let's remember what's important. Families and lives are being turned upside down, and we've got to remember what's most important, where we have an opportunity and a chance to be excited and talk about college football and NFL football in the week ahead. We've got to remember that people's lives are definitely being devastated and turned upside down. Anthony McClanahan is down there, former pro athlete, lending a hand, and he may be calling into the show here in the next, about 5 minutes. If so, we will end the show like that. Until then, let's talk about some opening lines this week in NCAA football. We're going to go to the big game. Auburn goes on the road to play Clemson. The line opened up as Clemson as a one-touchdown favorite at -7. Since then, it's been bet down to 5.5. It looks like bookmakers, there's some money coming in on the underdog. For those of you that don't kind of understand how that works, when there is a line set, the line starts to move as money comes in on one side of the team. Usually when the line moves down, that means, for instance, in this game, Auburn came in as a 7-point favorite. It is now 5.5. That means more of the money, most likely, is coming in on Auburn. So they move the line down so people will start betting on Clemson, because in a perfect world, all they want is even money on both sides, so then they make the 10% on the juice. That's what the objective is and the goal is. That's why you see the line movement. I had the game handicapped at Clemson -3, so it will not be a play. I usually look for 8 points plus, either if I'm looking at a spread or a total. Part of my system and part of my formula, I'll go in, I'll put every game of the upcoming week on paper. I'll put what I think the spread will be, what I think the total will be. Then when they drop the lines, usually on Monday night or Tuesday morning, I'll compare what I had to what they have. If I find an 8-point difference in either the spread or the number, we're rolling with it. We're rolling with it. They're missing something. Either I'm missing something or they're missing something. Now, of course, in college football and NFL football, anything can happen. But if there's an 8-point difference in something that I think and something that they think, I got to do more research. And when I go and do more research and I don't find anything that validates that, then either the wrong team is favored, and we'll most definitely be making a play.
That's an amazing thing.
Yeah, man. It took. Look, I'm gonna tell you this. I'm 35 years old. It took a lot of me betting my money and winning a whole lot, and then losing a whole lot more. Just to be honest, just to be completely transparent. I quit gambling in 2007, and I used to bet, man. I'd bet $300 to $500 on every single game. It didn't matter who was playing, and I did very well. Unfortunately, I was one of those guys that would press his bets and start to double up, and I'd end up paying more than winning. So it's not that I didn't have a winning record. It was just that the games I'd load up on would end up being the games that I would lose. So anyways, I translated that into sports handicapping, and what I found is most important when you're talking about sports advising and sports gambling, it's all about discipline, man. It's all about discipline. It's all about money management. If you're just trying to have action on the ball games, you're 9 times out of 10 not going to come out ahead. You may win a week or two, every once in a while, but you're going to end up paying. More than getting paid. The objective is to get paid, and it's all about discipline, money management, and managing your bankroll, finding out what there is available that's disposable, and then managing that on a week-to-week basis. So at the end of the year, you get a return on the investment and having me advise you. So if you're interested in that, you can call me on my phone line, 901-900-9315. That's my personal phone line. You can call into the show, 452-3094. We may be joined by Anthony McClanahan, former Dallas Cowboy, Washington State football player. He's down in Puerto Rico now helping out the flood victims. He might be in the mix right now. I don't know. I know the weather's very, very bad down there. They may not have reception. Who knows? I don't know. So we'll see if he calls in. He does have the information that he needs to call in. So if he does, great. If not, maybe he can come on another day because what he's doing down there is really great. If you want to look him up on Facebook, it's Anthony McClanahan. He has developed some hashtags. Hashtag to the top Texas 41, to the top Florida 41, and then to the top Puerto Rico 41. That is his hashtag, and he may be calling him. I spoke with him for about 30 minutes last night on the telephone when I got home from work. That's why I missed most of the Chiefs and Patriots game, and it's absolutely amazing what he is doing down there. And man, if the world just had more people like that, it would be a beautiful place. So we'll see if he calls in. In the meantime, we were back to Auburn and Clemson. Auburn was listed as a 7-point favorite at the Wynn Casino. Now it's 5.5. Like I said, I had it at 3, so it'll definitely be a game that we stay away from. I think Clemson will win the ball game. I really like Kelly Bryant. I think if it was at Auburn, I would pick Auburn to win the ball game. It's not at Auburn; it's in Clemson. That's why I have them winning. I think it'll be a very tight, surprisingly high-scoring game. Most people are saying it's going to be low-scoring. Most people were saying that Alabama-Florida State was going to be high-scoring, and I said it was going to be low-scoring, and it turned out to be 24-7. I've seen, people have it 2017 Clemson. Some people have it 2017 Auburn. I think it's going to be more like a 34-31 Clemson. I really do. I think it's going to be a high-scoring game because I think it's going to be fast-paced. I think there's going to be a lot of clock stoppage. There's going to be a lot of throwing. I think if Auburn wants to win on the road, they need to get Petway going. They need to get their ground game going and keep the quarterback, protected, and then definitely take advantage of any mistakes that Clemson makes. I'm going to give the advantage to Clemson because it's at home and it's so early in the season. Like if this game was played maybe week 8, once I could see more. But I'm just basing it off, if it's not fixed, if it's not broke, why fix it? We're talking about the defending national champions. And I tell you what, Kelly Bryant is doing a good job. I know it's only been one game, but he's doing a good job of filling some pretty big shoes. There's got to be a ton of pressure on that young kid to fill those type of shoes. And so far, he's looking good. I expect big things out of him. You can call into the show, 452-3094. Have you seen him play yet?
Yeah, man. I saw the first game, and this guy.
Man.
I had heard a ton about him, but then I'm watching. You want to see. Okay, they had Sean Watson.
Yeah.
Before that, Taj Boyd, guys like that played great. And this guy's just coming right in and fitting the mold that has been put there by the coach.
Dabo Swinney, man. That's what I said in the podcast the other night. I said, why is nobody talking about Clemson out of the ACC? And I think kind of the response was because Florida State. And Florida State is they've lost Francois. They've lost to Alabama by 17. They got completely shut down offensively. Alabama's going to do that to probably just about everybody this year. But Clemson, man, is loaded. Dabo's done an excellent job recruiting, and he's got another quarterback. After Taj Boyd, what was everybody saying? Well, what are they going to do at quarterback? And here comes Deshaun Watson. Now Deshaun Watson gone, and everybody's saying, what's Clemson going to do without Deshaun Watson? Boom, Kelly Bryant. You're about to see what Clemson's going to do. I mean, the kid is very good. They are loaded on both sides of the ball. It doesn't really matter when you're talking about a team like Clemson, a team like Alabama, a team like Georgia. Georgia's biggest enemy, and I say this all the time. Florida State's biggest enemy, and I say this all the time, is Florida State. Georgia's biggest enemy is Georgia. Year in, year out, they shoot themselves in the foot. You just say, Georgia's being Georgia or Florida State's being Florida State. And that's kind of goes on the coaching. Jimbo Fisher. I mean, in the past, Mark Richt. I think Mark Richt was an excellent coach, but it's the players that you're recruiting. Sometimes it's not all about raw talent. You gotta get those smart players in there that understand and study playbooks and know the philosophy that can understand and see your vision. It's no different in football as it is in anything else. In life, you got to put your team together very carefully and meticulously. And the teams that win year in year out, like Bama, that's what Nick Saban does. He recruits good athletes. But he definitely interviews them, their whole staff. They interview the players that they bring in. That's why you got to commend the teams like Vanderbilt and teams like Notre Dame. And I'm not just saying that because I'm a Notre Dame fan, but to get scholar athletes and compete on that playing field, that's tough, man. It's tough when you have an academic standard that you hold and you've got all this talent out there, but they've got 15 on their ACT. You can't get into Notre Dame with 15 on your ACT. So that definitely makes the job a whole lot harder. So anyways, guys, call into the show if you'd like. We've got, I think, about 8 more minutes. I'm guessing Anthony might be kind of in the trenches right now, probably helping some people out. He's down in Puerto Rico. He's a former Washington State and Dallas Cowboy football player. He's down in Puerto Rico helping out victims, and I think he's probably down there helping out. He was supposed to call into the show today to tell us a little bit about what he's doing. 901-452-3094 if you'd like to call into the show, talk about the Chiefs and Patriots, talk about the upcoming week in college football, upcoming week in NFL football. We have talked a little bit about the Titans and them being a favorite at home in Nashville against the Raiders.
To that point with at home, just out of curiosity, I mean, how big is that when determining what you determine, with home and away? Because I know some people say, well, it's just kind of a myth with the home thing.
It is no myth.
Yeah.
That's not a myth, man. I mean, think about it. Think about when you're in a home environment. Those kids feed off that stuff. All it takes is one mistake, a special team return, an interception, a fumble recovery for the entire momentum and game to completely shift. And the team that just you understand what I'm saying? Like there could be a team, and this brings me back to the Auburn and Clemson game. Auburn needs to come out from the jump and make a statement and shut that crowd up. That's going to be very, very huge for them because as soon as something happens and that crowd gets into it, that momentum could take off for the rest of the game until Clemson makes a mistake. And they are so fundamentally sound with Dabo Swinney. You know, he's developed a culture there and a winning mentality. I mean, those kids just win, man. They just win. That's all there is to it. And I know, you know, people are going to say, well, Deshaun Watson's a winner. Man, they win as a team. They've got a ton of talent. They win as a team. So I see here on my Facebook Live, I think Anthony is down in Puerto Rico rescuing. He's actually rescuing a dog right now, man. So he's down there helping out flood victims. That's why he has not called into the show so far. I've got Carl on the line, so we'll take his call right now. What's going on, Carl? Good morning. Good morning. How are you? Uh-huh. The AAC rules? Sure. Yeah. Just I believe that's it. Yeah. What brings you to that question? I believe it's postponed, Carl. I believe so. I don't think it's canceled. I believe it's postponed. Now, here's the thing, and I learned this from Josh, that our bye weeks fall on the same week. So how they're going to handle that situation, I'm not really sure. They may have to squeeze it in, and they might have to play, you know, like on an off night, like on a Thursday night or something, Friday night. I don't know what they're going to do. I'm sure the two ADs will get together. They'll get with the NCAA, and they'll reschedule the game. But as far as I know, the game has been postponed. Now, they've canceled the kickoff tonight, but it's postponed. They will play the game. Hey, Carl, I've got former Dallas Cowboy Anthony McClanahan on the phone line right now, and he's down in Puerto Rico helping out flood victims, so we're going to talk to him real quick. Thank you for calling in, and I'll be on my show Monday through Thursday from 9 to 10 from here on out, okay? All right, thank you. Hey, Anthony, what's going on? Are you on? Hey, I'm doing good, man. How are you? So we've got Washington State, former Washington State Cougar, former Dallas Cowboy, and former Calgary Stampede football player Anthony McClanahan on the line. He has been down in Texas helping out flood victims. Now he is down in Puerto Rico, and then after Puerto Rico, I believe he will be in Florida helping out flood victims. Anthony, I just wanted to introduce you and give you the floor and kind of tell people what you're doing down there so the people here in Memphis can hear what you're doing and how they can help.
So my wife and I operate that go from human life to animal life, so they all matter.
Absolutely.
We started this test in Arizona going down to see if we could help our friends that were underwater in Texas when the hurricane hit. And we knew that we needed to get there quick because we are kind of outdoor adventures now. People anyway, we run mountains, not after the marathon, on top of Mount St. Helen. As we were running, we would get people up, and that was my second tour. So we know what adventure is, we know what fear is, but we overcome it, man. So we said, hey, let's drive down with our own money with you all and rent and get a bunch of water, and we'll use our own funds. And when we got down there, we didn't realize that we were going to be seeing other people and talking to other communities. Also, while we were looking for our friends, we found our friends but didn't know that Corpus Christi and Rockport and all these places were out of water. We're like, no, we were going to use our money and travel all around. We started meeting people in different communities. And then it just came, we put it on Facebook, like I run my company, it's done by email and text and Facebook. We started out there and needed help friends. We started to GoFund and all
Drop the link in there.
Here we are.
That's awesome, man. That is absolutely awesome. I admire what you're doing. You inspire me. I'm so glad that I could bring you on the show. How can they help, Anthony? Can you give us maybe a link that they can go? I've dropped my hashtag on Facebook Live. I believe. Okay. 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 That's awesome. Okay. Sure. No. Okay. That's perfect. Okay. Absolutely, man. Yeah, I know, and that's why I wanted to get you on here, man. Sure.
So you're helping everyone in what? Because los tres hotel Operación Cerdo y estamos buscando escenas para ayudar a los perros y darle comida para que se mantengan y there it is, man. There
That's
it is.
it.
So now,
Thank you.
I don't have to.
That's excellent. Man, that's awesome. Anthony, thank you so much, man, for joining me on my show. You guys are in our prayers. I absolutely admire and you inspire me, what you're doing down there. That's awesome that you have an interpreter, so the language barrier isn't there. You guys are out there helping people's lives. You guys are out there rescuing animals and just absolutely being selfless and literally being God's warriors, man, out there in the trenches, taking yourself into the battlefield. And I definitely admire and am inspired. And we'll definitely go to the top. Texas 41 to the top, Florida 41 to the top, Puerto Rico 41 on social media outlets. You can find him. And I really appreciate you joining me, Anthony. It's the end of the show. I will be calling you this evening when I get off work to talk more. Okay, bud? All right. Absolutely, man. Take care. All right. Bye-bye. Everyone, that was Anthony McClanahan. He is down in Puerto Rico. He just left Texas. Now he's in Puerto Rico. He'll be going to Florida next. Instead of taking himself out of the situation, he's going down there to help people, to help animals. He has now found a 11 or 13-year-old a young man that is helping him interpret, so there's not a language barrier. And I tell you what, man, that just shows you what some of our former professional athletes do, man. You know, how they take what they've been blessed with and they give back and pay it forward. And that's why they're so successful in life, because they do that. So that was pretty cool, man, to have him on the show. I want to thank everyone on my social media outlet that's following me for helping me out make that happen. And everyone in Memphis, go to those and find out how you help. It's Andrew Vanelli, the Ace Sports Hour with Ace. You can catch me Monday through Thursday from 9 a.m. to 10 a.m. Everyone have a great Friday and great weekend. Prayers out to everyone that may be affected by the hurricane. Peace.
Awesome, brother.
Thanks, everyone. Share this out. Please share it out. Thanks.